Namaste. Yesterday I went to a Chennai International Book Fair where I saw that most of the book stalls in the International Book Fair are filled with books on self help, motivational speakers, motivational authors. The most of the book stalls are filled with those books, and it's a huge market. Self help or motivational speaking, motivational courses, etc., is a huge market. But due to the content that they are producing, only economic activity is happening. The betterment of mankind is not happening, in my opinion, because when you see most of the people buy an inspirational book or motivational book and they read and they get motivated, but after some time that motivation dies down and they get back into the normalcy or lethargic phase of their life again. Why this happens is, as I told you earlier, in the Sankhya theory, our Sankhya Darshana tells us how Prakriti works, and also in the Bhagavad Gita also Krishna says, Prakritehe kriyamanani gunaihi karmani sarvashah. According to the Sattva, Raja and Tama of the Prakriti, things are being done through you. You are not doing things, but the things are being done through you. I am not saying that you don't have a will. You have, of course you have a will, and you have to practice that will. Then only you can defeat that Prakriti and do the things that you want to do. For example, your body is full of tamas, and because of the tamas, it is very lethargic and it wants to sleep. But you have put an alarm, or your mother is waking you up. So somehow you have made some arrangement to defeat that Prakriti which wants to sleep, right? So with your humanly efforts or with your willpower, you are trying to defeat that Prakriti and wake up early morning. So in this way, defeating the Prakriti constantly is the only way to do the things that we want to do. But to do this, we need some inspiration, right? Therefore people seek inspiration, and therefore the industry is so big. But that motivation is not sufficient. This motivation does not create an abhyasa or practice or habit in you. For example, if you have a habit of eating food without speaking to anybody, without talking to anybody, or without looking at anywhere, or without getting disturbed, or without playing mobile games, etc., if you are focusing on your food and eating, if that is the practice at your home constantly, even though it is enforced on you, you will get used to it, right? That is called abhyasa. Abhyasa means abhi plus asa is abhyasa. So we have to establish certain things. Abhi asa means establishment. So abhi asa means establishing things in our lives. So every day we have a certain way of sitting and certain way of eating and certain practices, not using mobile phone, not talking to anybody, having good thoughts, etc., certain practices while having lunch, dinner, breakfast, etc. So even though it is enforced, it becomes an abhyasa. Abhyasa means practice or regular practice. So your body, mind, emotions, body cells, etc., are used to that abhyasa, used to that activity, and they function accordingly. Wherever you go, you function accordingly. So when that abhyasa becomes permanent abhyasa, you don't have to do it with conscious efforts. It happens naturally. The people who don't speak while eating, if somebody goes and tries to talk to them, immediately they get agitated and they tell them, I don't speak while eating. So it's not a rigid practice, it's a natural practice for them. So in this way, we have to establish certain good practices. What I am trying to say is, motivation is not sufficient, practice is more important. Practice and consistency. Consistency and practice is more important than the great motivation by a great achiever. if you look at your life, you understand that you might have got motivated by many achievements of many people, but you have no consistency in pursuing the same achievement, right? Because you are taken over by the Prakriti. You have to defeat your Prakriti. To do that, you need to have a consistent practice. Therefore, without being trapped into the trap of motivational market, it is very important to adopt our traditional practices and be consistent with them, so that our character gets stronger and stronger and we will be able to achieve something.